Man, man, man. I really hope Howie Roseman doesn't blow up this team because when Howard Eskin speaks, you have to open your ears a little bit. And this is getting me a little worried now. Very concerning now. We're going to be talking about those reports, and we're going to be talking about Dallas Goedert, that the reports are actually true, and they're becoming more official by the day. So we're going to be talking about all that. I'm going to be ranting. I'm going to be going crazy a little bit because this is a little alarming. Let's get into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I hope we're having a fantastic day today. This video is sponsored by BetUS. Check them out if you guys have not. So the way this video is going to go, I don't know how it's going to go. If you hear any background noise, my landlords are actually doing stuff on the outside of the house. So you might hear some banging or something. Just try to ignore it. Oh, man, I don't even know how to start this because my head is going in a million different directions now. My brain is, pause. So we heard from Howard Eskin, and Howard Eskin, when he says things about the Eagles, when it comes to rumors or things like that, yeah, I think he's got a lot of connections within the league, and this is not going to make Eagles happy at all. And I hope that these aren't true. Now, there's two parts to this tweet that he talked about the other day. Not that, but it is that. Howard Eskin, okay, he's investing a story on possible Eagles trade of Devontae Smith. In many cases, I just consider these reports social media fodder. Okay, what he's talking about is the Devontae Smith mock trade that came out, that the Eagles would trade Devontae Smith and the 32nd pick for Jalen Ramsey, a second-round pick for 26, and the Eagles would get the 13th overall pick in the draft next week. Okay, so I thought it was BS. He thinks it's a bunch of BS. So we're not going to waste our time on any of that. But the second part to this whole entire thing, okay, he says, however, I had heard A.J. Brown's name in some trade talks with Eagles possibly moving into the top 10. Okay. Obviously, to move into the top 10 of this draft without trading a player, especially a great player, it's going to cost you a lot of picks. We know this. A.J. Brown has been worth every penny that he has played. Okay? This is a very interesting situation because the Eagles have never had a wide receiver core this good in a long time. Okay, I don't think of Devontae Smith as a 1B and A.J. Brown as a 1 and a 2. This is a 1A, 1B. Both of these guys can go to other franchises and start for any team out there right now. Devontae Smith took less money for A.J. Brown to get a bigger extension, keeps them locked up for the next few years, which is absolutely fantastic. The Eagles have not brought in any receivers on pre-draft visits. The Eagles didn't meet barely with any receivers at the combine. Where is it telling? What are you replacing A.J. Brown with if this man gets traded? I'm sorry, but when I hear Howard Eskin talk about a report like this, you got to pay. He's got a lot of pull when it comes to news, okay? And this could be Howie Roseman just saying, let me make A.J. Brown available and see what teams will call and, what are they willing to give up just to see how that, what's going to happen there. I don't even look at this point, guys. Like, I don't care. Howie Roseman could stare at me blue in the face and say that we're repeating this year. Trading A.J. Brown doesn't change anything. Let me tell you something. It changes everything. I don't care if you have a Saquon Barkley. I don't care if you just have Devontae Smith. Like, Jahan Dotson's only here for a year. You're not going to trade for another receiver. That makes no sense. The pre-draft visits, the combine, there's been no receivers involved in the process of anything this offseason. So, do they think they can win without A.J. Brown? I'm not really sure because now you give away a strength. on top of not having any tight end in the room right now, okay? I think you're going backwards. I think you're overstepping your boundary a little bit, trying to trade a superstar right now. Okay, I understand Howie wants the picks. Howie wants more picks. He wants as many picks as possible for next year because the more picks that Howie has, the more moves that they can make. Not even just for the draft, but we're talking trades. We're talking a lot of other things. But Howie Roseman's going to have 12 picks in that draft next year. 12. And he'll probably get a couple more for next year at 26 as well. Jahan Dotson's the number, could come in as a number 2, sure. But he's no A.J. Brown. The Eagles don't have a big receiver that can catch those 50-50 balls, that can contest catches. I mean, this is just, he makes a move like this, I mean, that's just overkill to me. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, sure. Like, I get it. I was pissed off when it happened, and then got the context behind it of why they did it. It wasn't because they want to trade for Kenyon Green. It was because they want to they wanted chunks of money the next couple years. $6 million next year, $13.8 million the year after. You got to pay Quinyon and DeJean. DeJean's only a second-round pick. He's only got 4 years. That's it. 3 years technically now, counting this season. Jalen Carter's contract. There's a lot of contracts the Eagles are going to have to lock up. So I get why they did it, and he wasn't in the future plans for the Eagles. But trading away A.J. Brown and them thinking we could still win a Super Bowl this year, that's going to be a tough one to me. I think that's going to be that's a big loss. I tell you, any Eagle fan will tell you it's going to be a big loss. You can't replace that. It is very late. You have the draft next week, and you can't replace A.J. Brown. Jahan Dotson isn't going to replace A.J. Brown. Sure, you can put him as a number 2. He'll get some attention on the field, but you got no big receiver out there. You have no big receiver that can move like A.J. Brown can because, A.J. Brown, man, when he's in the open space, man, he's unstoppable. That's a big loss, and if you're moving into the top 10, there's only one of 2 players you're getting. Like, why reach and move into the top 10 of this draft? Sure, that's the bright side to the trade if you trade A.J. Brown, but you're getting a defensive player in Abdul Carter, or you're going to go get Tyler Warren, okay? That's where I'm kind of at, okay? A lot of teams, and us Eagle fans are so spoiled because a lot of Eagle fans, we're spoiled to the fact where we have 2 number 1 receivers. We really do. Okay. A lot of teams out there don't have that. You have receivers that, like Justin Jefferson, that want to strangle their franchise and suck as much money out of that franchise as possible, being a selfish player. And I respect guys that want to get paid, but they're guys that just want to get paid and don't care about nothing else. Okay. These guys care about each other, and Devontae Smith took less money for AJ to get that bigger extension. Like, there's no loyalty in the NFL, and a lot of these Eagles players, they show a lot of loyalty, and the franchise rewards you for your efforts. And if you do a good job, you get paid in Philadelphia. Okay, so there is a lot of we've seen that a few times already. We've seen that a lot of times, okay? Philadelphia takes care of you if you play well, and that's the truth. Saquon Barkley, $20 million back now? I mean, come on. It's crazy. So, I'm not going to overstep too much on this. Like, my brain is like going in different directions now, because if you're going into the top 10, what is it for? It's Abdul Carter or Tyler Warren. I mean, who else are they really going after realistically? And you know what I mean? And I feel like it's going to be more towards defense at this point. I mean, the Eagles say, look at our defense. Look how they played. A.J. Brown, I think we still win without A.J. Brown, if that's what they're saying. Maybe, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is going to be too much now. If I can think in Howie's shoes of why he's doing that, or if this is true of why is Howie think that trading A.J. Brown is a good idea, is because they still think that their offense still has enough weapons to really contribute to winning a Super Bowl this year without A.J. Brown. They feel like they could still do well without him. And number 2, they saw how their defense played, give Fangio a top 10 weapon, and wow. You know what I mean? You want to jump in front of the New York Giants. You want to jump, you want to jump in front of the Miami Dolphins. You want to jump in front of certain teams that could get Abdul Carter. Then you'll have you're in contention to get him at that point. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't know what else to say about it, honestly. It's just Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, sure. A.J. Brown, that's big. That's really big. I mean, especially if you trade A.J. Brown and you're not even trying to get Tyler Warren, like, and you're empty at tight end at this point. You know what I mean? So that's a big reach, because if you try to trade from 32 without trading a player like that into the top 10, you're giving away a farm of picks. You'd give up your whole draft just to move up in the top 10. And obviously the Eagles don't have to do that. Just remember, they have 4 fifth-round picks. They have 12 picks for next year. They can't use the comp picks yet because they're not rewarded yet to the Eagles till next offseason. But they have the conditional pick for Hassan Reddick still, the 3rd rounder that they have. So, realistically, like, even though this can be BS, if you trade A.J. Brown, what are you getting back? You're getting, obviously, a top 10 pick, and I would say you need, like, another first and a second. I would get a 2nd-round pick for next year and a 1st round for 27. I don't know. Something in that degree. It's got to cost you 2 first-rounders and a second. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to give up a lot for A.J. Brown. You're not, and Howie Rose was not going to give up A.J. Brown for nothing. But I already hate this trade. I already hate this already, where this is going. And this is why I'm taking this more serious, because if Howard Eskin says this, it's a little alarming. Doesn't mean the trade's going to happen, but it's like, what are teams willing to give up? This trade might not happen till draft night, and our jaws are going to drop to the ground like, bro, how the hell do you think you could put your foot forward and be like, look at us blue in the face and say, oh, we're going to repeat this year and we're going to win another Super Bowl this year? Dude, that's too much. That's too much. Trade somebody else. Like, if that's what it's going to take to get into the top 10, I don't need to be in the top 10. I'm going into this draft knowing you're not getting Abdul Carter, you're not getting Tyler Warren, but that's the only reason why you're trading in the top 10. So I'm going to stop right there before I just keep just saying crap the entire time. And that's where we're at with the situation with Howard Eskin and his report. How would you feel about an A.J. Brown trade? I don't even have to ask how you would feel. But let's go into other news. The last bit of news for the day. Dallas Goedert. Now, from Jordan Schultz, news has come out on Dallas Goedert. Okay, sources, the Eagles tie on Dallas Goedert remains a name to watch on the trade market as the draft approaches. Interested teams believe Philadelphia would be open to future picks if they don't receive 25 draft capital. Goedert is in his final year of his deal, and he could be looking for a new contract as well. So, there it is. Okay, it's not official, but Goddard's looking for a new contract, wants more money. That's what it's looking like it is. Remember, Trey McBride just got paid $43 million a year, highest paid tight end. And Dallas Goedert's sitting there like, hey, I just won a Super Bowl. I got no more guaranteed money on my deal this year, which is probably a good thing for the Eagles because it's probably a lot easier to trade him. But I think what's holding this whole thing up is the Eagles are not getting enough draft compensation. They probably want draft compensation for this year, just like the Hassan Reddick trade. I think they wanted more that year, the other year, okay, for Hassan Reddick when he was on the outs. But they had to take a conditional pick in 26, a third-round conditional pick. So it's almost the same thing. But if they say picks, is it more than one pick? It sounds like it'll be a couple, maybe a couple picks are coming to the Eagles. They can't give up Dallas Goedert for cheap. I mean, the guy's missing 5 to 8 games. I get that, but he's got a lot of value. I mean, thank God Dallas Goedert was good in the playoffs. So we were hearing, and I said this news the other day, reported from Jordan Renan that the Giants actually called. Okay, the Giants called. I don't know if other teams have called, but there has been other teams calling for Dallas Goedert services, and they're seeing what they can get for him. So this report from Jordan Schultz, that report that we got the other day, seemed to like it did hold some water and seems like it's coming true. That now we know that Dallas Goedert, at least it seems from how it's written here, he wants a new contract. Okay, not a restructured 1-year deal. He wants a new contract and he wants to get paid at 30 years old. And the Eagles don't want to keep a 30-year-old player. The Eagles are not signing players when they're at 30 years old. They just don't do it. Joe Banner used to do that. He wouldn't keep a player over 30. Okay, Howie Roseman used to do that a lot, but now is starting to, we're getting to this big youth movement now. You just signed 2 tight ends in free agency, which aren't better than Dallas Goedert. Well, and then on top of that, you have Calcaterra. Will they move Johnny Wilson to tight end and maybe try him out there? I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But if the A.J. Brown news is connected to this and they say, hey, we're moving to the top 10 because Tyler Warren is on our radar and we want him, that's a generational tight end. I mean, that guy is. It makes me more nervous that that's what they could possibly do. But that's the news on Dallas Goedert as of right now. So hang on to your seats because this is going to get kind of crazy. It's going to get kind of nuts. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles content every single day. I'm sorry for the background noise. It's just stuff that's happening during the day. And if you guys haven't, definitely like the video. It helps out tremendously. If you haven't seen the Philly Shakedown podcast merch, definitely go check it out. We have a ton of new stuff and some more coming on the way. The champion shirt, definitely go check it out. Everybody loves this shirt. And check out the main thing t-shirt, the iconic moment in the hallway. Comes in obviously different colors, and it comes in a hoodie as well, which it's almost summertime, so probably not going to get the hoodie, but just saying it's out there. So definitely check that out. Link in the description below. Let me know what you guys think about the reports from Howard Eskin with A.J. Brown, and are you kind of worried because this, got me a little worried. And other than that, that's pretty much it. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and remember. Me and Philly 500 will be streaming all 3 days of the draft and going through this together. So you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up? Follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.